Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Wiped Up Coach, where I teach women the art of femininity so they can tune into their feminine essence and date for long-term commitment. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to be sensual, soft, and alluring. Now, before I get started, I want to give a kind of like a disclaimer about this topic. So, a lot of women may say, well, um, I'm not engaging in sexual activity, I'm celibate, or I'm abstinent for the moment, or, I'm not those things, but I still want to take my time getting into the, if you see smoke, it's my incense. I'm like such an incense person. So I'm gonna take my time getting into the sexual things, which is absolutely perfectly fine. Now I want to say being sensual, when I say about the word sensual, this is usually when I get a lot of like, oh well, I'm not ready to have sex and I don't want to give the wrong impression, which is understandable. However, sensuality is not really about sex. I know that in society it seems that sensuality is all about sensual and sexy and sex, right? But there's more to it than that. Yes, sensuality can lead to sexual encounters and things like that, and it can also be um, a prerequisite sometimes to sex or engaging in sexual activity or inviting that into the equation. However, it doesn't have to be. And as I state, in anything, when you decide to become sexual, it's your absolute business. And as in any situation, you need to establish the boundary very early on. Okay? So I just want to say that you can be sensual with a man and not one think it means you have to engage in with sex with him, nor feel like if you're one of the women who is deciding at the moment to not engage in sex, that it means that um, you should hold off on being sensual until you get to the point of um, you're ready to engage in sexual activity. So I want to debunk both of those. That is not true, okay? Because sensuality is really just about engaging your senses and his senses. So I mean, yes, sex could be a way to do that, or being sensual in certain ways can lead to that if you allow it to, but it doesn't have to be, okay? So I'm going to go a little bit into what sensuality is and some ways to practice sensuality. So, alluring, sensuality, and softness. These are all very um, feminine, feminine um, characteristics or qualities, I should say, that you want to have in order to help you to magnetize men to you even more, right? Because the thing about men is they love women who draw them in, right? And you draw men in with your physical appearance. You draw him in also with your inward self. So your ability to be a little coy, mysterious, be even just being like a great person to talk to, a listener, a person that seems thoughtful, like those type of things, charming, like just some of those things are some of the ways that you can, you draw men into you. because they are drawn to your essence as a woman. And as I've taught before, that your essence as a woman is all about your feminine energy. It's all about the energy that you bring. And so when you have that feminine energy, you create that a yin yang effect, and you create that polarity, right? So when you're feminine, you naturally draw masculinity to you, right? And men are drawn to you as a woman when you're feminine, because of your when you're well, they're drawn to your femininity as masculine men, right? So they want to experience that, right? And so that is keeps them coming back to you. That is what keeps them enthralled with you, is that experiencing of that feminine energy. Okay, so sensuality, um, of being alluring and being soft really are very, very intricate parts of femininity, of feminine essence, of feminine energy. Okay. So let's start with alluring. Even though these, in some ways, these all three of these words are synonyms for each other, I still want to. They still have different appeal, and they still have different words. Okay, so alluring, right, is it really embraces like your magnetism, how you're able to magnetize a man to you. So what is a magnet? Okay, so a magnet is an object, right, usually made of think metal. Don't quote me on that, but anyway, it's an object that brings other objects of similar vibration to it, right? So you've seen two magnets come together. You've seen a magnet and you put like something metal over it, and it draws that the object to the metal, to the magnet, right? So that's what a magnet. So that's what alluring is. Alluring is you're captivating, right? You have an alluring can usually starts off with women in your appearance. So being top notch, being making sure that you are well put together. So that means that your hair is always neat, clean, and styled beautifully. So I'm not one who advocates, oh, you should wear this type of hairstyle or that type of hairstyle. I believe you should wear whatever hairstyle that makes you feel comfortable. Just make sure that it is neat, clean, and basically it looks good. You know, it looks good. It looks like you take care of yourself. It looks good. However you decide to wear your hair, make sure it looks good. Okay. Then your face. If you are a makeup wearer, which I suggest all women get into makeup in some sorts. Not saying you have to have a full on beat face all the time, but like like lipstick, mascara, just something to kind of play up your best features on your face. Because that's really the purpose of makeup, is to enhance. Now, I know in today's time, a lot of women are completely changing who they are with makeup, and the men complain they don't like makeup. But this is the thing, men don't dislike makeup. They think they do, but they don't. What they dislike is the clown look. They like the quote unquote over the top drag look, right? When they say they don't like makeup, that's generally what they mean. Because in other times, most of the time, as long as you look good, a man is drawn to you, right? And makeup is a part of femininity. It's a part of your allure. There's all these types of things that are part of being a woman. Hair, makeup, perfume, getting dressed up, getting dolled up. These things are part of womanhood and femininity. So that is those things that make you more of an alluring woman. So make sure your hair is always done very neatly, clean. It's always clean. It smells good. Keep your hair clean, washed. If you those who wear extensions or weaves, wigs, whatever you wear, or even your natural hair, just make sure it's always clean. You know, whether you decide to wash it on a hopefully wash on a regular basis, but regular is different for everyone. So, but just, clean is clean. You know what clean is for you. That's all I'm going to say on that subject. And then makeup. So make sure your makeup looks good. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, that it has to be, you have to have a beat face, but just if you do, um, I suggest you do wear makeup. And when you do, just make sure it's clean. It's clean, it's not over the top, it's not clownish, and it's not draggish. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube where you can find your particular uh, makeup that works for your particular face, skin tone, skin condition, whether you have dry, oily, those type of information is all on YouTube. Also, those who are not familiar, I have a monthly membership called the Feminine Lounge where I teach different topics on femininity every month. So when you join, you have access. So I created this membership last year. And when you join, you still have access to all the videos from previous months, including last year and this year. So last year, I believe around June or July, I dedicated a month to feminine appearance. So I really went into how to find um, makeup for your skin tone and how to do to bring femininity to your hair and things like that. So if you're interested in learning how to have more of an alluring appearance, then check out the Feminine Lounge, and the information for this membership will be in the comments. Okay, so it's a monthly paid membership. Just want to put that out there. So more information, you can click on the link and learn more about the membership in the comments. So alluring is about your feminine essence. It's about your feminine appeal, and it's about how you basically how you magnetize a man to you. Now, since we know that men are very visual creatures, the first thing that will magnetize a man to you is your visual aspect of you, your appearance. So that's why I said all the things about your appearance. So I also suggest that you learn your body type and dress specifically for your body type. That is also something I go over in the Feminine Lounge in the same month that I went over how to dress for your bodily shape, your shape. There's 4 main types of shapes, I believe. There's pear, there's hourglass, there's apple, and then there's rectangle, I believe. So whatever your shape is, make it beautiful for you and just dress your shape. So many women are dressing because they see things on social media and they're just wearing things that really does not fit their body type. I see this so much and it's very unflattering. So you have to wear clothes to fit your body type in order to be your most alluring self. And men love women in all body types. Don't think that only one body type is it. Now, if you have certain body types that you're not proud of and you think you can work on it, maybe exercise can help. But if it's more of your shape, no matter how fit you may get, your shape is going to be your shape unless you do something surgically about it, right? So just embrace who you are if you don't choose to do anything surgically about your body, right? So that's the thing about your feminine appearance is just making sure that you dress for your body type and you just basically look good. Just remember that. I need to look good. Whatever looking good means for your personal style. Okay? So as I always teach when I teach femininity, I don't teach you to be a different person. I teach you to incorporate femininity and these things into who you already are. So if you have a certain type of style, that's perfectly fine. Just incorporate these things into who you are. That's why I highly suggest that you check out that month. I believe it's either June or July of last year in the Feminine Lounge, and it really goes into very much detail about how to make your appearance more feminine. Okay? So, if not, you don't want to do that, I highly suggest Pinterest and YouTube to be more of an alluring woman. Okay, so alluring woman is one who captivates a man's attention just by her presence and her appearance. So the other part of being alluring, is your presence. Okay, so your presence is a presence of confidence, right? You're very confident about yourself. You have a, I know I'm attractive. I know that I am worthy. You have high self-esteem. You have high confidence in yourself. You look good. You smell good, and so you portray out to those who come near you that you are a person of value and you are a person who thinks highly of themselves, right? You are a person who no one can tell you anything negative about yourself because you just know that they're lying because you're just that great, right? Now, we don't want to go overboard and be arrogant or conceited or self-centered or anything like that, but you definitely want to have a high level of confidence in yourself in order to attract the highest quality of men. Because in the healthiest men, because if you are a woman who has low self-esteem and doesn't think too much of herself, you will only attract predatory men. Because men who value themselves are going to seek other women who value themselves. Like I said, magnets. Magnets attract like energy. Okay? So if you have an energy of I'm not good enough, or I'm just okay, or there are other women who look better than me, or anything negative that you feel about yourself, I would also suggest that you join my self-love workshop that I created. Go to my website, wipedupcoach.com, and there's information under the event section where you can find out more information about my self-love workshop. But I would test you to have more self-love about yourself, okay? Love yourself and know that there is no one else out there like you. No woman can compete with you because you are just that great. Okay? So you need to have that energy, and that is captivating, and that is alluring. So the alluring is your energy about I know that I look good, and I know no other woman has anything on me, and I know that men just flock to me, and I just have very inviting energy, and I can get any man in this room I want. That's the type of energy you should have. So that's the type of allureness, right? Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions or you have examples of being alluring, or if you have any questions about how to be alluring or things like that, you want me to elaborate a little bit, just write it in the comments and I will try my best to get to as many as I can, okay? Or maybe if it's a lot of questions, I might turn it into another video. So next we're going to talk about sensuality. So sensuality, basically you are just involving senses. So there are 5 senses. So let's hope I get these 5 senses right. So the first sense, or they're in no particular order, but smell, touch, um, taste, hearing, and sight. So sensuality basically is you as a woman. When you're a sensual woman, you don't have a problem engaging the senses of a man. Okay? As a heterosexual woman, you don't have a problem engaging his senses. So this is the thing. When a person's entire senses are engaged, you take them to an outer body, outer world experience. Okay? So the more that you're able to engage someone's senses, the more that they feel very in tune with you. They feel this very like spiritual connection with you because you are literally involving their entire being. And so when it comes to, you know, um, the core of feminine magnetism, is you want to have a man just think of you nonstop, right? And so one of the best ways to have a man think of you nonstop is to be sensual, right? So when you're with him, you are, you look good. So you're engaging his sight, right? Um, you are soft, like physically soft. That's the thing about being a woman. So you're moisturized, you're soft, your skin is soft. So when he touches you, you're soft. Your lips are soft when he kisses you. This is softness, right? Um, So sight, touch, or you touch him very gently. That's softness. Now, smell. You smell good. This should be a no-brainer. You're engaging your senses by smelling good. You smell, at the very least, you smell clean, like you've taken a bath. Okay, you smell like soap. At the most, you have a very floral, clean scent. I recommend that women wear floral, clean scents. Okay, um, 2 of my favorites are Donna Karan Cashmere Mist, Vera Wang, and Chanel, number 5. Okay, so those are three very good fragrances that are floral and clean. I advise against fruity, kid-like scents. Like kind of like Febreze type scents. More of like elegant, classy, and floral are best. So those are so far we've done sight, we've done touch, and we've done smell. So then we also have hearing. So one of the things about hearing is you want to be soft spoken, okay? Now, if you're a woman who naturally has a higher pitched voice, or more of a shrill sound to your voice. Now, I'm not the voice expert, but one thing I've always had compliments on is men absolutely love my voice. Now, I haven't liked my voice, but they do, especially on the phone. And that's really where you want to really captivate a man, is when you're talking to him on the phone. So one of the things that men generally like about my voice is that they have said it is soft and soft. I've heard sensual, and I've also heard easygoing. Okay, so and sexy. I've heard sexy too before. Um, so you want to have a low voice, or lower your voice, I should say. Not saying you have to have a low voice, because my voice is just naturally low. So when I speak to people, I usually have to make it a habit of purposefully raising my voice, because my voice is naturally low. Okay, but you want to have a lower tone voice, and you want to like kind of speak more sultry, and you want to speak more slowly when you speak, particularly to men. Okay, so these are the little things that will drive him crazy. Okay, because it will also make him want to like lean into you so he can hear you, right? And he'll be magnetized to that energy, right? Because men, when they speak very boldly, and they speak usually louder. And so, as a man, he wants to be magnetized to his opposite, right? Yin and yang. So, your voice usually he's more attracted to women. Men are subconsciously attracted to women who have lower, softer, more sultry voices. So, you want to speak lower and softer, and you put a little bit more sexiness into the voice, if that makes sense, guys. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Just practice, and it takes practice for some women. If you have a higher tone of voice, a higher pitched voice, I should say, or if you naturally speak loud, okay. But you definitely want to bring it down. Um, you want to bring it down in order to embrace more feminine, softer, sensual energy. Okay, so that's sound. And then taste. So one way that I think when there's a couple ways you can do taste, and I'm gonna do non-sexual ways, so it's universal, okay? So I'm gonna do well, actually, even in the sexual way, like okay, scratch that. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna talk about that just because I feel like in situations like sex, when it comes to taste, like whatever you may or may not be doing in that or that arena, it doesn't really matter per se what you engage in. It's more of how you're enjoying the moment. Like a lot of times women are afraid to really let go of themselves while they're having sex. And so it doesn't matter like what he does or you're doing, if you're just kind of like uncomfortable and not confident in yourself and things like that. But that's a different video or a different time maybe. So, but taste, one way that I think it's easy for taste, kissing. If you're dating someone, you shouldn't really have a problem with kissing them. Um, but so like kissing, like tasting his lips, allowing him to taste your lips, being sensual, like letting the kisses linger for a second, um, things like that. Um, maybe giving him a kiss on the cheek, or maybe him kissing you on the cheek, him kissing your hand. Just it goes back and forth. It's not just like you're doing something to him, or it's him experiencing you. It's you're allowing him to experience you. So you can allow him to experience you by you doing something to him, or allowing him to do something to you, right? So it can go either way. So, like I said, so with the tasting, another one of my favorites is to feed a man, like physically pick up a fork or whatever utensil you're using to eat, and pick up the food and put it in his mouth. That's what I mean by feeding him. That is a very sensual practice, um, and men really appreciate that, like because it shows a lot of femininity. It shows a lot of femininity, and it shows a lot of vulnerability, which is the core of femininity. It shows a lot of vulnerability, right? Especially if this is a man that you are not in an exclusive relationship with and you're getting to know him. It lets him know that you're really open to um him, and you're open to allowing him to see you, right? And it kind of lets him know that if he was to marry you, you probably would not have an issue with like gender roles or being more submissive, right? Because we all know that submission is only for husbands. So, but in doing this act, you give him a taste of your abilities to submit to him when he marries you. If you guys go down that road. Okay? So I don't advise any woman to submit to a man who's not her husband. But by doing little things like this, you give him a taste of what submission looks like for you, or to be with you. Okay, so so it's sensual, like it's sexy, it's flirty, it's you letting down your guard, you're being vulnerable, right? Um, and you are also being very sensual, like you're engaging his sense of taste, right? Because I'm sure he'll um, linger with the food a little bit more because of that experience, you know. And for a lot of men, it may be the first time a woman has ever done that to them. So that's another great thing. You'll probably be the first woman who did that for him, because most women are like, "Oh, I'm not feeding him, man. He's not a child," and they have all this independent, or like, "I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do this" mentality, and they want men to do so much for them. But that's a different video as well. So basically, what goes on? What is that it just reveals to a man, and also it's a great way to reciprocate right then and there on the date. He's paying for the date. He's been consistent, and it's a great way to reciprocate to him right then and there and on the days by feeding him, right? So, and it's playful. It checks so many feminine energy boxes. Like that one act checks so many boxes that I highly recommend it, and it's one of my favorite things to do. Okay, so it just checks so many boxes. All right, ladies. So those are the five senses, and that's really what sensuality is about: is engaging as many senses as you can when you're in the presence of a man. Okay, so the more you do that, the easier it becomes, and the more free flowing you become as a woman. Okay, and the more magnetic you become for men, or to men, I should say. Okay, so lastly, we want to go with softness. So softness is basically, it's an inside thing mostly, but it's also an outside thing. So as I spoke about in the touch thing, softness on the outside is basically you're just soft to touch. You're moisturized, your skin is soft. You have great skin, your skin looks nice. Um, and also softness is also just over your overall appearance. You have a nice soft look to you, like as far as your makeup, your hair, things like that. But you have more hard masculine look. So that's softness. Then on the inside, softness is just being vulnerable, right? Like it's your ability to allow a man to come in and you open yourself up to him and you be vulnerable, right? So it's about not having walls up, not having defense mechanisms, not being bitter, not being resentful, not allowing baggage to come and mess things up between you guys. Like just allowing him to see who you really are and just be inviting. It's softness is always about having an inviting energy about yourself. So you're pleasant to be around, you smile, you're you have a soft energy about yourself. So when this is the type of energy that men say, oh, there's just something about her, right? They don't know what exactly it is, but there's just something about it that they just cannot get enough of. And that's usually your softness as a woman. Okay, so I'm going to end this video because it's already long enough. But I want you guys to, in the comments, give me your thoughts on being alluring, being sensual, and being soft. Examples, questions, comments, times that it may have worked for you that you did it. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Now, when you subscribe, I need you to hit the bell icon so you get notifications every time I post a video. Because otherwise, if you just subscribe, you're only going to get notifications sometimes. But if you want a notification every time, then hit that bell icon. Okay, ladies? All right. Also, feel free if you want to have more discussions with me and more like minded women, feel free to join my Facebook group. Details will be in the description. And also, you can never go wrong by getting on my email list and getting the first 2 chapters of my book, 21 Days to Feminine Magnetism. Information will also be in the comments. Okay, ladies. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Until next time. Bye bye.